to understand what's reality and what's illusion or what's ego. And oftentimes your ego is what's creating that fear, right? So it's like it's coming from a pattern, or it's coming from a past part of you or a fear-based aspect of you, which is tied to your ego. So I think that it just organically kind of works itself out the more you open up to whatever it is you're opening up to. One of the things that I do recommend is like when you find yourself in a period of fear, so like if you're tense, if you're anxious, reminding yourself that you're safe and regulating your nervous system is going to help you to kind of bring yourself back to wherever position you were in prior to it. I hope that helps. You bought tickets to see Fisher and LCD Sound System in a couple weeks. I need a spiritual night out. I've never heard of them, but I hope you have a phenomenal time. I have tickets to see Tame Impala in July for similar reasons. You're welcome. Y'all, I'm still so tired. Like yesterday, I thought I was on the home stretch. I thought I was starting to feel better, like hormonally at least. And now I'm just like, nope. Turns out you're not. Excuse me. Just making weird faces. That's what we're doing today. I love that it's Apple Music. I will listen to this after the stream. Literally, I don't know why people use, like, I've tried all of them. I like YouTube Music, I will admit that. So for a long time I had both because I was stupid with my money. But I did like that, like, you could also use YouTube Music and YouTube Premium. So, like, I like that factor. It was worth the money. But then I started thinking about it. Apple Music is a quarter of the price, and it has phenomenal, like, all of it's just better. It's superior. I never liked Spotify. Um, I don't understand why people use it. It's not even a good platform. I will. I've been in like a spiritual music kick lately. One thing I will say is since I've canceled my YouTube subscription, I have to switch over some of the playlists I was creating over there and start making them on my Apple Music again. Um, which is just effort that I have not been willing to put in. What should we do, y'all? Should we pull some cards? Sure. This deck has been sitting on my desk since yesterday with a selenite on top of it, and I've been cleansing it. I agree. Compared to my friends, Spotify Wrapped to my Apple Replay, and mine were songs she listened to, and her list was like things she never listened to, like Justin Bieber's most recent album. She literally, like, it's just weird. And I had the same thing with YouTube. So like I had both of them when the like Wrapped came up, and I was like, my Apple Music is actually accurate. My YouTube Music was completely off base. Like it showed me albums. Like example, Sabrina Carpenter's Man Child album was like number 2 on my albums. I listened to that once. One time I listened to it through. I agree. I also think it's just trendy and people jumped on the trend, you know? Anyway, I digress. I like Apple Music also because I have an iPhone, so like obviously I'm like a diehard Apple person, which I'm fully aware it's a cult, okay? I'm aware. All right? I know what I'm a part of. I just find that like it's more aesthetically pleasing, it has better options, it like the way they updated it lately and they use like how, if you're listening to a playlist for example, how the play like the songs flow together, I kind of like that. I kind of like it. And I have heard if you don't like it, you can turn it off. So, I don't know. I feel like it's superior. Anyway, I love the fact that I have music from when I was 12. Literally. All right, y'all. Let's see. What is this energy lately? Whoa. That's so crazy because this particular card's energy, like the imagery on this always gives me the vibe of like someone wanting to like, it's like preparing for war almost, which honestly with everything going on in the universe could be symbolic. I'm literally turning on my flashlight so y'all can see this better. So if you look at this energy, the woman looks like she's ready to fight. She's ready to like, you know, duke it out. She's ready to go after it, if you will. And I feel like this collective, that's kind of the vibe you're in. But the other thing I find really interesting, I'm sure a lot of people are in a similar vibration as I've been, and you're tired because I feel like this is not only what I'm going through with my hormone changes, but it's also just like symbolically what's going on in the world. And like we are in the middle of Mercury retrograde. There's been a lot of like planet shifts. There's like a full moon we just had. There was an eclipse. Like it's a whole lot of stuff. So I feel like the other thing that Spirit is saying with this energy is that it's time for rest. It's time to recalibrate. It's time to kind of like they're showing me like if you were playing a video game and you like example, if you've played The Witcher, I'm seeing this in my mind's eye. When you meditate and like your energy goes back up, they're showing me that for some reason. You were just listening to See You Again by Tyler and Kyla. She talks about going to war. Interesting. Yeah, everything is connected. Something about, yeah, what did I say? This is exactly what this is for a lot of us. Like we're currently going through a period of healing. There's like a period of rest. There's a period of recalibration so that we can not only like revitalize our energy back up, but kind of acknowledge some parts of ourselves. So I've been channeling that line from that, and the Hermit's at the bottom of the deck here. I've been channeling that line from that Pink song for like ever, like the parts of me that aren't all that pretty. I feel like this correlates to that. It's almost like Spirit's cheeky little way of saying like we're currently in a position where we are healing from our trauma, where we are unpacking some stuff that's kind of heavy, whether this is happening like within our consciousness or just kind of energetically. It's deep inner healing, and this healing is helping us to challenge not only the parts of us that aren't all that pretty, if you will, but also the patterns from our past that led us towards addictions or codependencies or unhealthy connection. And I feel like this deep inner healing is leading a lot of us towards, like they're showing me the sun in my mind's eye. So it's like, it's leading a lot of us towards a lot more happiness, a lot more contentment. I did say a little while ago, I think this was like in the beginning of winter or just before winter, I had talked about how the spring was going to be very transformative for my collective. I feel like this is confirmation. This is like the last period of hibernation before we really start to kind of shift into a more solid footing, a more grounded position. They're showing me like very traditional glow up type of energy. So a lot of us are currently going through that. I think I said this on yesterday's live. I know from lived experience when my face does this, it's a purge, not only like of my skin, but also of energy. And then I end up in a more solid position after that. I end up in a more like glow up-y vibe, whether that's energetically or physically or both. This though is really beautiful because the devil in the reverse is telling us that there is a lot of release happening. Okay. I feel like a lot of us are currently in this position where we're detaching, we're acknowledging truth, we're exploring our darker thoughts, we're letting go. And as we're doing all of that, we are also finding time for ourselves. We're finding time to rest and reconnect with our roots and our sense of self. I feel like a lot of us are going through a really big transformation. This transformation could actually be symbolic in nature in the physical form as well. And I think I said this in the last stream that I did a reading on, but like I saw the collective going through like an aesthetic shift. So starting to wear clothes that are like maybe a little bit more witchy, that are maybe like whimsical. I don't know, take it however it resonates. It could be the opposite. Maybe you're starting to wear more gothic clothes. Maybe you're starting to become more, I don't know, preppy or country, or maybe you're not fitting any trend or style category. You're just kind of living in what feels comfortable and what feels right with you. And I feel like that's also part of this process for this collective, especially those of you that have never really known your identity or you struggled with your sense of identity. This honestly is kind of giving me the vibe that like a lot of us are currently figuring out who we are. We're discovering who we are in a way that we may not have known before. Sorry. Squirrel moment. My ADHD took over for a second. You've been having cystic acne. This is literally a cystic pimple. That's why it's so big and that's why it won't go away. I also definitely popped it, which is a terrible idea for cystic acne, but I couldn't contain it. I'm a picker and I like to pop pimples. It's very satisfying. When I was in high school, I would watch pimple popping videos on YouTube because I'm gross. You're trying to upcycle your clothes by sewing. That's so crazy. I've been thinking about doing that myself. So we also have the moon's energy here. So there's still some things we can't see, okay? And honestly, for a lot of us, I feel like that's part of this challenge. I feel like part of the reason we're feeling so drained, so like they're showing me this visual feeling like backed into a corner. It's because there are still things that are being woven, is what they just showed me. I don't know why, but I just saw the Narnia movie, to be specific. Pimple patches actually don't work for me. I've tried multiple different brands, and if it's a cystic pimple, it does nothing. That's just my skin though. Anyway, I don't know why I'm seeing Narnia. Like this could be the book, but I am seeing like the movie. I haven't watched that since I was a child, but they are showing me that for a reason. Please make sure you're drinking enough water. But as I was saying, with this moon's influence, I feel like there's still things that we don't understand right now. There's still things that are kind of in the dark. So whatever it is that you're dealing with, for some of you, this has to do with like wanting to, I don't know, like I'm hearing open up a business, wanting to go back to school, wanting to start a new relationship, wanting to deepen a friendship, wanting to commit to a new path in your life, wanting to move to a new place, wanting more financial stability. I don't know, take it however it resonates for you. These are collective again. But I feel like there's things that we still can't see. So there's stuff that's still going on behind the scenes that are kind of keeping us in the dark. And some of us, it could be causing us to feel a little trapped. It could be causing us to feel a little bound. It could be making us confused. I also just immediately saw something about constipation. I don't know. I think it's Spirit's way of saying our clothes can bring us the reality we want. I don't disagree with that. I also think that like your clothes are really a representation of your individuality. I also think that like if you know anything about psychology and color psychology, certain colors can actually help increase your moods. Like example, wearing all black is an indication that you want to feel invisible. You don't really want to be seen. You kind of want to hide. Whereas like wearing red is like, I want to be seen. I want the confidence. I want the power. You know what I mean? So like there could be something correlating to that as well. You find hydrocool medical grade patches and cutting them to the side work better for cystic acne. I am saving that and I will take a peek at that. Did you know that biotin, this stuff that you can get for your hair, can actually cause cystic acne? And if it does, you're supposed to stop using it completely. Fun fact. Anyway, back to the reading. The other thing I keep being pulled to is like the torch in her hand. It's almost like I do keep hearing Hecate is like holding a torch for this collective. So part of this could actually have to do with coming back to your spirituality, coming back to your witchy side, trusting your intuition a little bit more. Others of you, maybe you work with Hecate or she wants to work with you. Take it however it resonates, okay? But in hindsight, like if that doesn't align with you, I feel like this is more about like this collective embracing what lights them up, embracing what makes you passionate. And I feel like because this devil is in the reversed in the dead center of this reading, it's almost like Spirit's cheeky little way of saying, the more you tap into your intuition, the more you tap into your gut instinct, the more you're going to be able to recognize what parts of you need release and what parts of you are still kind of trapped in a darker cycle or a darker aspect in your mind. But there is a period of rest right now that's really imperative for this collective in order to be able to kind of step back into themselves and the life that they want. There's something about trusting your subconscious, trusting your intuition right now, and like listening to what you feel versus what you see, if that makes sense. I am also seeing something about like the purple, which is like on this card's imagery. It's like a royal color purple. And then we also have this Ace of Wands that I was just kind of like tracing. What did I just say? Like, some of you are coming back to what makes you passionate. You're coming back to what lights you up, what excites you in your day-to-day life. What else do we have for this collective? There is something correlating to like a release of fear with this energy as well, because we have the devil reversed and then that moon's influence. So I feel like some of you are currently in this position where you're letting go of some sort of trauma, some sort of trigger. You're letting go of some sort of fear-based energy. So they're showing me two examples. For some of you, this has to do with your finances. This has to do with your sense of safety, okay? Others of you, this has to do with your connections. So those of you that it's the latter, you've had a lot of relationships where people were really mean. They were really manipulative. Maybe they stabbed you in the back. Maybe you dealt with a lot of like malicious or spiteful energy in your past. And I feel like whatever you're dealing with right now is your spiritual team and your inner self. It's the way to be able to recognize that not everybody is doing the same. Not everybody is doing that kind of stuff. Like, not everyone's out to get you. It's kind of the vibe that I'm picking up on. And I feel like it's poking at those old fears. It's poking at those old patterns. For some of you, this is more dramatic in a sense. Others of you, it's not quite as deep, okay? We have the Tower with the Seven of Wands coming out together. So I think it's interesting that the Tower is going on top of that Four of Swords, and the Seven of Wands is going on top of the Devil in reversed. So something is like jolting this collective to awaken to a realization, is what I just heard. I personally think the Tower gets a lot of, like, it gets a bad reputation because, like, people see the Tower and they're immediately triggered. They're immediately thinking the worst is going to happen. When 9 times out of 10, one, the Tower can be really dramatic. Don't get me wrong. It can be really catastrophic. It can be a lot of chaos, but it almost always leads you towards an awakening and some sort of revelation that you need in order to grow, in order to move past your current circumstance. So I feel like for this collective, whether this is a really intense Tower moment or a mild Tower moment or somewhere in the middle, whatever you're experiencing is forcing you to change your belief system. It's forcing you to change the narrative in your mind that's been keeping you stuck in old patterns, in old cycles. And that's what this is about, with the Seven of Wands going on top of the Devil reversed. It's like whatever sudden change you're facing, whatever's kind of like, they're showing me a visual of a foundation kind of shaking, okay? So whatever's shaking up your foundation, it's actually forcing you to kind of recognize where you need to work a little bit harder, where you might need to put some shit down. I also feel guided to remind you, like, not everybody is out to get you. Not everybody wants to hurt you. I don't know. I believe dogs, owls, potentially like ravens or crows. I would recommend doing some research into that. I do know that Hecate is really connected to witchcraft and your shadow side. So those of you that resonate with like doing some shadow work right now, that could actually tie into her energy in some capacity. How are you today? Thank you. I'm okay. I'm a little tired, to be totally honest. I've been feeling pretty drained lately. But as I mentioned yesterday when I was live on TikTok, I started birth control last week. So this is like my second week of being back on birth control for the first time since I was in my early 20s. So it's been like at least 10 years. So it's rough out here. It's rough out here. Um, I also get raged at the fact that like men's birth control was an option and then men complained about the side effects that we experience. So they got rid of it. But it's okay for us to experience it. I digress. I digress. Yeah, Crossroads, true. I always forget about that. I don't actively work with Hecate, so, but yes, Crossroads is an omen of her. Dark Moon, I believe, is also an omen of her. Yeah. Something about like finding the courage I'm also hearing for some of you, like with this energy here. So again, this is the devil in the reverse position, and in this particular tarot deck it's called the shadow side, and then we have the 7 of wands going on top of it. So for some of you, there's something about having the courage to fight for what you believe in, and I feel like whatever you believe in is helping you to let go of this energy here with the devil. You're facing a challenge, an obstacle, if you will. That's what the 7 of wands always indicates to me. And it usually shows me that whatever challenge or obstacle you are up against, you're willing to fight for it. But I do feel like for some of you, it's really heavy. Okay. So once again, being brought back over to this combination here with the 4 of swords and the tower, whatever you're experiencing, whatever tower moment has either occurred or is in the process of occurring or is coming, Spirit's reminding you that rest is important to recalibrate your energy. So for those of you that this resonates for your finances, there could be something about like having taken a financial hit recently, and Spirit saying you need to trust that happened so that you could heal this pattern surrounding your money. Okay, maybe this is instability or whatever. And I feel like whatever this correlates back to, Spirit saying right now it's time for you to rest. It's time for you to regulate your nervous system. It's time for you to start to kind of recalibrate, if you will. How many times can I say recalibrate? But I feel like whatever this is that you're experiencing, Spirit saying it's not intended to hurt you. It's actually intended to poke at your fears. It's intended to poke at the parts of you that are still kind of stuck in this illusion or confusion cycle. But they're bringing me back to what I had mentioned in the beginning with this moon's energy. I feel like part of this actually really ties towards not having all the answers yet. There's still some things that are being hidden from this collective, but it's because of what you're experiencing with all of this energy over here. So because you're in a period of rest from whatever tower unfolded, because you're currently feeling like you have to fight, and fight some more, there's a part of you that is currently being sheltered from what's coming, from what's shifting, from what it's honestly like the answers that you want can't come towards you because it's not the right time yet, which is making me think of that reading I did on Patreon yesterday where we literally got the card like the answers you need are coming. You just have to have faith in that. But I feel like right now is a really big omen that you need to just kind of chill. I also think it's interesting that I didn't announce this reading like this. I didn't post this anywhere, so there's only like 11 of us in the stream today, and I feel like that's an omen. So we have the Lovers going on top of the moon. So for some of you, this has to do with connection. It has to do with love and romance. Others of you, like I said, it could be your finances. Take it, please, however it resonates for you. For those of you that this aligns with connection, it could also be platonic. Okay, I feel called to mention that, or familial. It doesn't necessarily have to be romantic relationship, but I feel like there's something about you recognizing where your fears are projecting onto whatever this is for you. So it's like I said, I think already, like some of you have dealt with a lot of connections that were very manipulative, that were very toxic. I don't know how else to put it. And I feel like there's a part of this collective that your fear is kind of resurfacing in thinking that the past is going to repeat itself. You're thinking that the people in your life or the people around you are like out to get you, when in reality, that's not actually the case. That's just your fear. It's your trauma, is what they just said. Others of you could be facing some sort of a challenge in a romantic connection. There could have been a bit of a tower moment that unfolded, like a breakup is currently happening. Something that feels really catastrophic. I'm hearing like a catastrophic life event. I know that sounds really intense, but like I don't feel like it's affecting this collective to the extent that it would have, say, like, I don't know, 6 months ago. And you have to decide, is this connection worth fighting for, or is it something that you want to walk away from? And this could be like platonic, familial, romantic. It doesn't have to be a love partner. I just feel like there's a connection that some shit's coming to light, or it's about to. Yeah. For some of you, this is about letting go of the past. For others of you, this is about whatever is going on in your current life with a connection. There's truth regardless. Yeah, we have the Hermit. Something about Virgo energy could be important. And then the Hanged Man literally came out. I cannot make this up. We also have a lot of major arcanas in this reading, which is usually an indication of big change in the collective, or the receiver of the reading, I should say. So they're pulling me to the Hermit and how he's like, once again, like there's something about a light, okay? Like there's like a torch and he's like guiding the light forward. Some of you are being guided back to the light. You're being guided back to a brighter energy, a higher vibration. And like I feel like there's about to be some sort of clarity from that. They're like pulling me to the Hanged Man with like the light around his mind. Gotta start with accountability and apologies for that. Not necessarily, my love. Like, you can, if you're talking about other people, if you're talking about you needing to do that with other people, I like to remind people that, like, sometimes that's just gonna go nowhere. So, like, example, if you did something kind of shitty to someone and you're like, I need to own up to that, but they're not actively in your life, like, you have a no contact situation, especially if the no contact is the other person's decision, you messaging them could dysregulate their nervous system. So what's better for you and what's better for that other person is taking accountability within, writing it out, journaling it, saying the things that you need to say, but not actually trying to dysregulate that other individual. And then if it's on the other side, if somebody hurt you and you deserve an apology or accountability from them, sometimes that doesn't ever happen, but that doesn't mean that you can't achieve that within yourself. You resonate with everything I'm saying. Good, I'm glad. So I do feel like some of you need to kind of sit with yourself for a minute. Some of you need to kind of evaluate your own choices. You need to evaluate your own mind, maybe your actions, take it however it resonates, okay? There's just something about connecting with your inner self right now that's going to really help you reflect and recognize where you need to go and how you're going to get there. There's something about your internal wisdom that's going to like help guide you forward. They keep giving me the term self-evaluation. And in order to gain that, I really feel like you need to just kind of sit with you. Meditate, connect back with yourself. Honestly, some of you need to get back into your spiritual practices, whatever that is. Everybody's different. So like maybe that's meditation, maybe that's witchcraft, maybe that's walking in nature. I don't know. Take it however it resonates, okay? But I feel like once you do that, this collective is going to recognize what they need to release. What is it that you need to let go of? What patterns are you holding on to from the past? What aspects of your own shadow are you still clinging to? And once you kind of do that, you're going to see things from a different angle, is what they just showed me. They're now showing me a visual of like you perched in a tree almost and like looking down at whatever there is unfolding in front of you, and seeing it from this higher point of view is going to help you to kind of let go and shift into a more grounded position. There's a period of surrendering that's about to happen. They're now giving me a channeled song. Oh, thank you for the subscription. I appreciate you. I'm going to pull one more tarot card. What is the last thing y'all want to say to this collective? Too many. Yeah, this is exactly what I mean. Like a lot of us are currently in a period of purge. We're in a period of big internal release where not only are we seeing things from a different perspective, and this could even be about your shadow. Okay. Like I feel like for a lot of you, I really do feel like there's something about accountability within that you are currently achieving so that you can move your life in a new direction, so that you can let go of the past and shift into a more secure position within yourself. And I feel like this is where you're headed. Something about harvest. I'm sorry, babe, but the ads are how I get paid. The ads are how I make money. This is also why I shifted over here. I hate to admit this because there was a part of me in the beginning where like I didn't do this for the money and I still don't, but it's not an even energy exchange on TikTok anymore because I don't get paid for it. So my energy is getting like taken, but I'm not getting anything back. You know what I mean? So Twitch was the way I had to kind of shift. And the ads are how I do that. So it gives kind of a more energy exchange to me that feels more secure, if that makes sense. Anywho, sorry, I digress. You can subscribe to remove the ads, but yeah. No, I just mean I'm gonna give in. No hate. No hate taken. I understand how frustrating ads can be. I hate doing it, but I also literally have no choice at this point. So my energy was getting so drained and I was so burnt out on TikTok because there wasn't an even exchange, which is another topic. Like some of y'all need to recognize where your energy is not being reciprocated, whether that is like in connections or in your job. Take it however it fits. Like that could be aligned with this reading as well. Maybe that's part of what you need to sit with. Where are you over giving or where are you under giving? You know what I mean? But with this 9 of Cups, I feel like this is where everyone is headed in this group. You're moving towards a more abundant, a more grounded, a more positive frequency. I do feel like we have this like wish come true kind of vibe coming through from this. And I think it's really interesting that like this collective has been really going through it. I feel like a lot of us have been feeling kind of like they just keep showing you this anchor, right? And with this reading that we've done so far today, it's pretty clear that a lot of us are in a period of healing. And this period of healing is helping us to kind of get more clarity on the direction that we want to go and where we want to take our life. And I feel like a lot of us are moving towards a really beautiful chapter, but there's a part of this, like they're showing me like dragging our feet. Okay. So there's a part of this period that we're currently in that's making us feel like we're not going to achieve that. We're not going to get to where we want to be. And I feel like it's because a lot of us have been on this journey for a while, but that's not reality. Reality is you're almost over this hurdle and you're going to get to this blissful energy so much sooner than you realize. You just need to trust that. Something about pineapples could be important. I'm also seeing positive luck coming forward. So like some of you are going to get like, I don't know, take this how it resonates, but there could be some sort of mild reward coming towards you to kind of push you forward, to help give you that momentum to keep moving on your journey, to keep healing, to keep doing that grunt work. This could be in the form of abundance for some of you. Others of you, it's like someone being very generous with you. I don't know, take it however it resonates. But yeah, there is a wish that's about to be granted for this collective, so long as you continue to do that inner work, okay? So like those of you that I have been working towards, I do see like a move. I see a career opportunity. I see a relationship, whatever it is that you've been working to achieving. It's so much closer than you realize. Hi, beautiful. How are you doing? I am okay. How about yourself? Can I get a reading? Readings are paid only. There is a link in my link tree to my website, and you could definitely purchase one if you would like. I think it's like a 3-week wait right now. You have pineapple rum. I was just looking at 151 rum. That's exactly how I've been feeling lately. That's totally fair. Me too, man, me too. I literally asked Spirit to give me something to hold on to, so perhaps they will. Spirit always answers when you let go, in my lived experience. So like when you ask for something like that, they don't give it to you until you've released the need to receive it. I was trying to see if there was any decks I was going to get pulled to. But not really. I literally don't even reach for 90% of these decks anymore because I started to realize these are very ego-based. But I was just pulled to this one, so let's see. Not this particular one, but like some of the love decks that I have, I don't like them anymore. Perhaps I should do a giveaway or something. We have an ending. Confirmation. Take care of it now instead of later. It's time for Union 1111, Family Stress, Boss Babe, and Fire Magic. The way I knew that wanted to make an appearance. All right. What do we have for this collective? I'm toxic for you. I don't like that. They just showed me the devil in the reverse in my mind's eye. Some of you are letting go of someone toxic. Others of you could be like recognizing the part of you that's toxic for somebody else. Yeah, there's some sort of change in perspective here. Thank you for these lives, Avery. I haven't spoken because I'm at work, but I'm listening. Oh, you're so welcome. Hi, I finally caught your live. Hello. We also have King Dangalang. Something about a pickle or a cucumber. I'm too nervous to talk to you. This is someone that you're not in communication with. Something is changing. Escape glamper camping. And then we have, I still have strong feelings for you. They're pulling me to the blue rose. So there is definitely somebody from the past that's popping in today, and I don't love that. I don't like reading into other people, but they want me to for a reason. This person's energy's coming through for a reason. This person and you had a very toxic back and forth is what they just showed me. This person has either just recently had a perspective change or you did. You could have started to see how toxic this connection was in the past and are in the process of letting this individual go. Others of you, this person is starting to recognize their truth. They're starting to recognize how they treated you unfairly and how they took advantage of your kindness is honestly what I'm hearing. This person wants to like circle the block, but I feel like they're actually really nervous in doing that. So it's interesting to me because for some of you, this is someone that you had like a pretty deep relationship with. It could have just been platonic, but like what I mean by that is you and this person were pretty close. So I feel like the fact that they're nervous shows how much they have started to see how they treated you. This person still has really strong feelings for you, but I also feel like they're afraid of like opening that door up. They're afraid of hurting you again. They're afraid of commitment, first of all. Spirit's encouraging this collective to continue to let go. Yeah, as I said, you just said like I started releasing him and then I just said continue to let go. I feel like whatever this person is going through internally, it's not your circus and it's not your monkeys. This person made their bed. Reminded of you every other day. They could be going through, like, I'm seeing, like, I hate to admit this because I don't really think that this means anything in my own personal opinion when it comes to spirituality. But this person's seeing, like, signs and synchronicities about you a lot. And I feel like it's because for a lot of you, this person knows they need to take accountability. They owe you an apology at the end of the day, is what I'm sensing. And it's almost like their spiritual team is kind of, like, pushing that. But they don't want to fuck up your day. They like whatever you posted recently. And then we have help, I'm in my feelings. Honestly, as I was just about to say this, like, I feel like you need to continue to just let this go. Like, let this person release them. Like, this says throw shit out, hoarder. This could be literal as well, babies, okay? Magic being done on you and then betrayal. So this person definitely betrayed you. I feel like this person really hurt you. I feel like they don't deserve access to you anymore. And they know that, which is why they haven't come forward, which is why they're not owning what they did. Just because somebody is feeling remorseful doesn't mean you need to give them an opportunity back into your life. I feel like this is kind of Spirit's way of saying, like, This is part of the energy that you're picking up on right now because it's Mercury retrograde. This person wants to communicate with you, but I also feel like they're never going to actually do it. They're never really going to take true accountability. And if they did, I'm seeing like alligator tears in my mind's eye. So it's almost like Spirit saying like, this is something you need to not focus on because you deserve something better. And the more you let go of this, the more you let go of people from your past in general, the more you're going to get towards something that is better. Continue releasing. Yeah, this person wants to make amends, but I don't feel like they deserve it. There could be some sort of drama that's about to unfold tying into this. Maybe you're going to see something. Maybe you're going to hear through the grapevine that this person's going through some karma. I don't know, man. Karma is real. What do we want to talk about for the last, 10 minutes? Excuse me. I just want to say I'm happy for you and your connection made me smile a lot. Oh, thank you. Curious about